Alrighty, I think we're all here. Let me just do a quick double check and make sure I actually have my mic unmuted on all the platforms. And here we are. Awesome. Cool. So, hi everybody. I think this is the most people in a chat that we've started the stream with, so thanks for that record. So who all do we have here? So we have JB, which I can call you Brenda if you want, or I'll just keep calling you JB. Here, Callie, hi. Monica, you made sure you didn't stay up too late. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Mariah, hi, welcome. Lurking while you watch a Hallmark movie? Yeah, fair enough. You know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Took the review from last week, made some changes, and re-uploaded it. 160 downloads? Dude, congrats! That's so cool. Waiting to see if Santa turns out. What movie are you watching? What is this? Christmas in July, I guess. Hi, Alex. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, looks like Tech Junior is working on running. There we go. So, I wanted to start off the stream. I usually start with a few announcements. Today there's really just the big one, which is the merch shop is now live, so I just wanted to show you guys that in case you haven't seen it yet. So if you go to shop.salmonbean.com, which if it's not linked in the video description, I will do that. It's just literally called Cheesy Hallmark Movie. That is amazing. If it's not already in the video description, I'll link it later. We are only shipping in the United States right now, and this is my first round at something like this, so if stuff goes wrong, let me know. But yeah, we have stickers, which are United States only. There are 3 of them right now, as well as some digital wallpapers. First go at all this. Again, if you have like feedback on the wallpapers or whatever, let me know. Yeah, so the shop is up, which is super duper exciting. Hello Tish, welcome. So yeah, that's up and running, which is super duper exciting. And we are doing the Sam Help live stream today, so of course live viewers are prioritized, so if anybody in here... Oh, it's a Christmas Village. Oh, okay. I just thought it was called Cheesy Hallmark Movie, which would be an amazing name for a movie. For real lurking now? Alright, good luck with that. So if anybody in the chat has a build that they'd like some help with, pretty much anything in build mode is a go. Windows, floor plan, landscaping, stairs, decks, roofing is kind of become a bit of a specialty, so always down to tackle some roofs. Or we can start with something over here. I know that Laffy Giraffe, I don't know if you're here or not, or if you'll be here later, but they have been asking me to take a look at their builds for a while, so I thought we might start with one of those. And then we can switch over to the chat and see if anybody has something there. Now, I don't remember if they had one in particular they were looking at. Looks like a couple of these are on here twice, though. This is a Gothic Victorian. I do love a Gothic Victorian, but this one has me curious. Let's see. Oh, there's like a furnished version, unfurnished version. Let me see if any of these actually have, like, what's going on in them. These look to be just standard descriptions. I see. Okay, cool. I see what's going on there. So I think a lot of these are just looking at roofing. Again, if I remember the comments correctly. I really want to work on this one. This one looks cool. So this is a 40/40. So let's go find a 40/40. We'll lose some items, but that's okay. I think Newcrest has one. So take a look at that. This is 50. Oh, am I wrong? I'm wrong. Oops. Let's see. Brindleton Bay, do you have a 40/40? 40/40, we do. Alright. At some point I should probably make a note of like which lot sizes are in which worlds. I bet a list like that would be really helpful. So many things that I want to do and so little time. Oh, I've been teaching myself bookkeeping this week. You know, to keep everything in order for tax season between the channel and the shop now and everything. It's a lot. So that's been an adventure and a half. So you could wish me luck on that. It's a lot of math, which I'm fine with. I don't mind the math. It's the, which math goes in which zone is the, is the tricky part. Oh, and I still need to reach out to, SodaStream and see if they'll sponsor me. So, here is what we're looking at here. Okay. Ooh, I'm also going to make a video pretty soon about freezes versus spandrels versus floor trims and the difference between all of those. So you can be on the lookout for that. That'll be on TikTok first and then a short. And the reason I'm bringing that up right now is because this freeze is actually clipping through the roof, and we'd like to avoid that if at all possible. There are a couple of ways we can work around that. However, it looks like this is modeled in generally a tutor direction. Definitely not like nerd level tutor like I would build, but enough in that direction that I think we'll probably try and run with that for the roof. So I would like to bring up the pitch of the roof a bit and see if we can't stop this freeze from clipping through. Overall, the shape of the roof isn't bad though. The one thing that I'm seeing here is, of course, water would be running toward this wall, which would cause issues. And we might be able to clean this up as well if we're careful. So I'm excited to try that out. This is a lovely build. So I'm just here to take a closer look at some of the roofing. Let's see. I'm going to start over here and just delete a couple of pieces so I can get a better sort of view of what we're looking at. We do have a random bit of ceiling here, which is odd. So I'm going to remove the ceiling. Okay, that's better. And it looks like we just wanted this particular area to be open to this, well, open glass roof. And then the rest of it was going to be closed. So I'm just wondering if simplifying the shape would be worth it. Oh, did the grid? There's the grid. Because if I bring this out to here, I think I'll pitch this down over the pool, even though I'd like the main roof to be a little bit steeper. Again, trying to run with a little bit more of that tutor direction. I think I'll pitch these down pretty low. And I'm also thinking that if I actually switch this out to, what? That's not the piece I wanted to delete. Hello? There we go. If I get rid of this one and actually stack two gables, we might be able to sort of trick our way around that weird intersection that often happens with the glass roof texture. Let's take a look. Chrisanna, hi. My brain was flipping those letters around, but I think it's Chrisanna. Sorry, my eyes are tired today, so this might be fun. Oh, you're here. Yeah, I was just saying that you had a lot of comments in my recent videos asking about roofing, so I grabbed one of your builds, and you didn't really miss much. I was mostly just talking about how I would like to try and keep the roof from clipping through the freeze. I'd like to bring up the pitch on the main roof if at all possible, but I just wanted to start over here over the pool. So that's why we're here. And I think that we can avoid some of the weird texture stuff if I'd use two gables here instead. And I know that that leaves this little bit uncovered, but that's okay. This should look pretty cute if we just grab another one of these. And we could either place it like so, which does clip in over here, but that's okay. Just hold shift to tuck that in. Or we could shrink this down and just have it covering, come on, there we go, these two areas. So I would re-roof it a little bit like this. This is a little bit more Greek. This is a little bit more classical. But this build could go in that direction as well. It's just if you were to actually go in the classical direction, I would probably change out some of these wallpapers because it's kind of a combination of the two styles. You're really bad at roofs. This isn't bad. Like overall, the core of the roof is not bad at all. I just wanted to run with either the more Tudor direction, which would be pitching this stuff up, or the more classical direction, which this is very classical right now. But since you're here, do you prefer more of the classical sort of shape, which is what this is with the lower pitched roofs, slightly more detailed, front-facing gables, stuff like that? Or we can do a more steeply pitched traditional Tudor roof, which is kind of like what you'd see in Windenburg. Rats, the stream hiccups are coming back. I freaking hate the stream hiccups. I always get the hiccups when I start a stream. I don't know if it's the nerves or what, but I've been doing this for long enough, you'd think they'd go away. Okay, I'll just throw some roof trim on this real quick. And if we're going to stick with this on the main roof, I'll go ahead and place it on here. But yeah, I think that just having these two gables intersect like this is going to be a little bit of a cleaner look. So I'm going to run with that. Also, I always pull the eaves in on my glass roof pieces, just because I think that this looks really silly with the wall like showing through the roof. Plus, it kind of floats. Not a fan of the floating. Also, I can turn the grid back off. Sorry about that. You just kind of go with the flow. looking for a German feel. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with anything in the German sphere other than, again, the like whole Windenberg sort of Tudor inspired aspect. And I know that there's a different name for it in German. I'm just terrified of getting just completely out of. I don't think I can say the name properly, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm scared. Um, okay. I think this looks nice for the pool, though. It's definitely a little bit more classical, but I think it's nice. And this was probably built after the rest of the house if we're looking for a story there. Okay, so if I were to pull up the rest of this. Oh, hi Terrence, I completely missed your message. I'm sorry, welcome. And hey, perfect, glad you could make it. The stream hiccups, they don't. They just, it's fine. Okay, so I would like to possibly pitch this up. Now, if I do this, I will be adding something else here because otherwise this is going to be way too empty, but then if we pull the eaves in, it'll sort of intersect with the edge of the roof there, so it won't clip through. It's not true Tudor. Again, it's leaning a little bit more on the classical, but that's okay. Something yelled German to you with the brick panels. Okay, well, I'm glad we can all not pronounce things together. I think this is a gable, so to get the pitch the same, I'm just gonna copy and rotate this one. We'll see about that. Oh, that's not gonna work. Interesting. Okay. So instead I'm going to have to keep the height the same, which is fine. I'll just hold Alt while I adjust it. Not generally my first choice, but it will do in a pinch. Nope, that was the wrong button. There we go. So what I want to do is hold Alt so that I just adjust the, it'll adjust the pitch, not the height. I could pull this over. So that would be a more traditional, again, Tudor half timber shape to the top of the house there. Hey Tech, thanks for the lurk. Hope you're having a good time putting the kid to bed. If you want to check out a build, there's a hashtag you should use. Yes, so if you are newer here or if you haven't joined one of these streams before, this is the hashtag SamHelpLive. I prioritize live things. We need a larger help with Germany. Yes, I don't even know if I'm saying that name correctly, but I promise I'm trying. I would love to dive more into German stuff as well. It's like if I could learn one language, I'm picking German. So if you have a build that you'd like to be worked on, the best way to get it worked on is to show up in the stream because I prioritize live viewers. But if it's slow or whatever, then you can use hashtag SamHelpLive. I do like it if you guys actually put in the description of the lot what you're looking for help with. Otherwise, I'll just like pick something random. So for this one, we're looking at the roof. So this is a more steeply pitched roof. Let's see. For this, I don't mind the tower. Ooh, actually, on second thought, this is a funky shape, isn't it? Alright, we're gonna have to do something special about that, but that's okay. And then for the garage, I don't know why we have two roof pieces. Oh, we have a lot of roof pieces. Okay. I'm just going to take this, copy, rotate, and place it here. And then do probably my favorite, one of my favorite roof hacks for the garages, which is copy and place another gable in this direction. And this time we don't even have to do anything special with it because of the way that we're doing the eaves and the edge. It's a little tall. Alright, I think I'm actually going to pull this back one and then hold shift to just pull these eaves out. This will keep it from actually clipping into the rooms on the inside. So that'll provide a little bit more of an interesting shape, but the main reason is it's going to push that water away from those walls. If it helps, it started as an octagon room. Oh yeah, it's just like it's an interesting shape. Usually an octagon will have slightly more, I want to say unanimous, but that's wrong. Uniform dimensions where each side is going to be a similar length. That's the way that the roof piece actually works. However, since this is not that way, we're going to have to do some troubleshooting, which is fine. I just don't know if I've worked on one quite this shape before. So I'm going to start with some of my usual hacks and then we'll see if it works. Yeah, that diagonal is not intersecting very cleanly, plus it's still going to leave a lot to be desired at the top. We could try a diagonal half-hipped roof. see if that is going to intersect any better, although I really doubt it. Really doubt that. Yeah, that's no good. Okay. The octagons are technically like straight pieces where they are sort of tied to the grid in the way that the diagonal roof shapes are not, so they don't always intersect very well, and it really bothers me, like that this gap right here is happening, you know? It's weird. Or Emily, yes, they're, I think both from that general area. Okay, so what do I want to do with this space then? Also, when I'm done with this roof, I will upload it, but there is a second way of roofing that I want to show you as well that I think would also look really well. It'll just take away some of the German style, but it's one of my more favorite ways to roof, especially with a freeze, so I'd like to show you anyway. I think I may end up just doing... Oof, I do not like this. Because I could do this and then just grab a gable to place here, which like lines up fine. It's okay. It's not like fantastic, but it's okay. Or I could shrink this back down to line up a little bit better with this, not quite corner, but we can call it a corner, and then pull this out. However, to get it to cover everything, we'd have to have a little bit of a overhang on the edges, and I don't know how I feel about that either. Nah, that ain't it. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, my usual I don't think my usual octagon hack is gonna work for this one. I'll try. So that would be taking two diagonal half gables and having them not intersect properly because that would be convenient. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's just too narrow. We may have discovered a second unroofable shape. That or I'm just too tired. Because like technically we can cover it with a roof, right? Just like we can technically cover a triangle with a roof. It's just not going to line up to that edge very neatly. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the octagon with the diagonal half gables on either side again, just to bring this in a little bit, and then I'm going to take that gable again, but I should be able to push this back a little bit further this time, which might still look weird. Oh, and then these are clipping through. No, this is just not working. We need custom roofs. I don't even know what we need at this point to make this game run. Garrett with the little fence. I do think that a little fence is actually probably going to be our best bet. I was hoping to not use a fence, but I am thinking that's going to be our best option. Alright, so I'll pull this in. That's fine. Those eaves are already pulled in. I could pull this out a little bit and then still add a fence. No, I think I'll leave it in. You already have this fence, but that might be too tall for up here. Let's see. Alright, that is not going to work super well, mostly due to the roof eaves clipping through again. You had that earlier. It's a weird shape. I'm gonna have to spend some time alone with this shape, I think. Alright. I think we might end up going with one of the lower base game fences. We could do a little iron fence. Stupid stream hiccups. Okay, so we could do something like that. Like, that's alright. You could potentially pretend that it's a little bit of a walkout and add a door if you wanted to. Let's see, you do, I mean, obviously you have get together, so I'll throw that in there as well. Ah, because I wanted one of these doors. I like these doors. Alright. So you could put a little door there if you wanted to, and then it's like a little walkout area, so that could be cute. What if I used a rounded roof? I did not think about a rounded roof. There are fireworks. Yeah, there are fireworks here too, which is actually one of the reasons I'm not going to be streaming Wednesday. I'm going to push it till Thursday this week instead. Usually I try to do Monday, Wednesday, and then maybe Friday. Oh, this is just still you must have used a floor I don't have. But that was not going to work this week because there are going to be so many fireworks still going off on Wednesday. It's not even going to be funny. As somebody who actually enjoys fireworks, so yeah. But I'll be back. I'll be back Friday or Thursday, which will be fun. I'll have a poll regarding the Thursday stream up, hopefully shortly after this is done. Okay, so I would like to add, this is what's called an oriel window, because it is a bay window that is above the second, or at the second story or above. Sorry, I spaced out for a second. The fireworks are getting loud. Nope. Inlaid. How about inlaid? That, no, we'll do white to match everything else. Okay. And again, I think you used some windows that I don't have, which is fine. So I'll just grab, that sounded really passive aggressive. It's fine. So I'll just grab one of those. So that'll help that roof piece not feel quite so large. You could possibly add a dormer or some taller chimneys as well, but I would say that this is at least going in the direction of one of the ways that you could roof this house. I think I'll pull this up a little bit as well, actually. Okay, so there's a direction. Personally, I would probably remove some of the upper frieze on this one to pull the eaves down a little bit, or I'm not going to do that though. I will put this back on the gallery real quick so you can take a closer look if you want, but I do still want to show you a second way that I would potentially roof this one. So Chateau Frieze. Oh wait, this is a lot title. I could have just gone there, but I didn't. Oh well, that's fine. That's not how you spell. Do that. You have every pack? Nice. I will get there someday. However, the best way I'm going to get there is if you guys click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I am really excited to do the horse pack stream, the Goat Ranch. I am so excited about that one. And I'll have to finish my little bookkeeping exercises before I can fully commit to how many packs I'll be giving away. But I should be able to give away at least one, so I'm pretty happy about that. Nope, come on, I know this one. Control. Control to remove the things. Okay. Nope. There we go. Also, I think I might need to replace my keyboard. Some of my keys just don't strike properly. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my platform and I'm going to place the platform just one level high over the whole space. Now right here is not, ooh, that's going to be tricky. All right. You know what? For right here, I'm actually just going to draw in the room, raise the level 1, and then get rid of the walls. I think that will be the fastest way. Did that actually do anything though? I felt like it didn't do anything. It did not do anything. You lied to me. I might have raised the inside room. Oops. Okay. Try again. Wow, this is going splendidly. What's my username on the gallery? The gallery username for me is Sam and Bean, all one word. There we go. Found the mystery wall. But this particular build, I am working on the roof for another builder whose gallery ID is, what is it? Hang on. This. You have all the expansions, but but not every pack. It's so expensive. Yeah, so I've learned that a lot of people start with like the stuff packs and then move up to the expansions. I actually get the expansions first, and then when I have like extra cash is when I pick up the smaller packs. Okay, so once we have our platform placed, I still don't know if we're going to be able to do anything different with this area. But now when we grab our hip roof pieces to actually place, the eaves don't go through the platform. It gives it a really nice sort of finished edge. And then if we grab the platform trim, this one, the Presto platform, which has a little bit of a, I don't know, like an edge to it, I think that that's a really nice transition. And for this one, if we're going a little bit more classical, our firecracker's right outside my window, so I'd be more in the classical direction, a slightly lower pitched closed face roof, possibly some open faces, but I'm going to stick with closed face for most of it. Oops. There. So I think that's a really clean look as well. Which world or lot is this? So I'm currently in Brindleton Bay, which is the cats and dogs world. And this is the lot. I don't know, I've put so many houses on all of these lots, I don't know. It's in the neighborhood to the left though, I think. Okay, so I'm going to do that over here, and then on this side, we'll grab a half hip roof piece, rotate it so that it's facing this part of the build, but I'm going to place it one tile away just to keep any clipping issues from happening, because this way I can extend this eave twice, but it won't actually clip inside the rest of the build. I'll just pitch that down to approximately match the pitch of the rest of it. Actually, I can get it exact if I just put a roof piece down. That'd be smart. There we go. So that's like a more classical direction. You could go with that one. Did anyone know there's a first visit to family member milestone for infants? That's adorable. The infant milestones are pretty fun. I would argue that the I think the milestones, is that exclusively the Growing Together pack? I think it is. If you play with a lot of families, I could see that being worth getting the pack for, only on sale. I mean, in general, you only buy packs on sale, but especially some of them, like Growing Together. Alright, so that's a fun one. But the milestone thing is really nice. I do like that. Now for this, you could potentially bring this out. It doesn't quite work with some of your other windows and things down here, but it's an option. Or you can just sort of leave it pushed in and put a fence there again like we did last time. But yeah, there's like a more classical one. Watch some fireworks the neighbors are shooting off. I hope that we can see some fireworks tomorrow night from our house. I mean, we're in a pretty busy area, so I assume we'll be able to see some, but they're after the bean goes to bed, so we're not going to be keeping them up for that. I'm good at roofing. I do try. I genuinely do try. I'm trying to make it my whole personality on the internet. That and knowing too much. So, yeah. You pre-ordered it and you had triplets. Why? It's too many. Too many. Alright. Brain just died. Does anybody in the live chat have a build that they would like looked at? It doesn't have to be just roofing. I'll do other build mode stuff as well. But now is your chance. I'm just going to put a little bit of a fence around the top here because I think it will be pretty. Just sort of finish it off there. A split level. I have done a few split levels. I don't know if we'll be doing a split level on stream tonight, but I have a few shorts on YouTube as well as TikToks, and a whole tri-level tutorial video on YouTube as well. Not beginner friendly though. Sam's Little House on the Prairie stand. I want to go back and build more of those, but I just, dude, time does not exist sometimes. So looks like Alex and Echoes both have a couple, so I'll take a look at those. Time to remake the orange house. Are you going to work on that now? Please do. You've been struggling to add color. Um, that is a good question. Is there a particular style house that you're trying to build? Because, you know me, I have to do everything painfully correctly. I'm going to replace this word here, classical. And so some, like some styles historically use different colors. So that might be a question I could just answer here. Do I plan on getting Life by You? I do. We will see when that comes out and how it's actually looking though. For right now, what I've seen, I'm not a fan of the graphics, and I'm like a really big graphics person. They dictate pretty heavily which games I play, which is one of the reasons I don't do Sims 3 so much. Plus, I just forget about it. But we'll see, because I'm dreadfully curious. Okay. Alex, do you have an ID? And Echoes, you currently have yours under the echosea and the hashtag. Oh, right here. This is the only one I see. Let's take a look at the lot size. 4030. Ah, so close. We're on a 4040. Alright, I'll pop over to a 4030. Can pre-order for early access. Interesting. I will have to look into that. Sophia, you missed. Oh, we're just doing sort of like one thing per build, but if you do want to take a look on the inside, you can see the re-roofs on my gallery, and you can also check out the original builds under. Oh, that's a 3030. 4030. We'll rebuild the vet clinic. I think it's 00 Laffy Giraffe 00, something like that. You can find under the hashtag as well. Oh, hiccups. So we won't be doing tours of the inside. Also, I'm pretty sure that one was just a shell. It looked like it had a floor plan though, so that's nice. Is this a vet clinic? Wait, is this the default vet clinic? I've never gone in these bathrooms, I guess, because that completely caught me off guard. Okay, moving on. So we are going to take a look at Echoes here. Yes, I know that we'll replace the lot in build mode. That's kind of the point. Okay, yes. Confirmation. It is just a shell with a floor plan on that one. Awesome. That was fun, though. Most of the houses you build are more modern. This is the same black and white. So if you're doing modern, like contemporary, white, gray, neutrals are pretty common. However, earth tones are definitely gaining traction, which I'm very excited about. So you could try just some soft greens or browns as an accent. Also, if you prefer more of the mid-century modern, good options for that include more of those like earthy tones, the greens, the oranges and browns, yellows, stuff like that. So I'd probably start with some of those. Also, hi Mac, if I didn't say hi. Let's see. Are we doing remake Orange House? I'm not doing it on stream, but you can bully perfect into it if you want. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Now, I did not see on the gallery necessarily. Still needs some help with the roof. Okie dokie. And maybe landscaping. Let's take a look. I don't think let's see. Okay, so first look at the landscaping. It looks like you were using some debug. And you did the terrain paint and you used rocks and everything. So as far as I'm concerned, that looks pretty decent. It looks like this is the front of the lot. Of course, there's a world fence here, which is sort of awkward. I might consider adding some more trees or something to the front, just because it looks fairly plain, but I also don't know which world this was sort of designed for. So that could adjust that. You love earth tones? Definitely start there, because whether you mean modern contemporary, mid-century modern, or some sort of blend, the browns, grays, oranges, yellows, or greens, those would be really good to start with. And again, you can just start with like an accent here or there, you know? That'll help break you into that color world. Okay. So this is quite a collection of styles, so I'm probably going to go for a fairly default roof shape on this. It almost looks like it's a barn that's sort of like transforming into a farmhouse as well, which is fun. Maybe let's go in that direction. Because I don't mind this, it's just not really lining up with the rest of the build, so we'll want to fix that. I think we'll just shave it. Oh, which reminds me. I still need to give you a haircut. Text due for a haircut, so I should probably shave him at some point too. Okay. The roof over the deck does not extend all the way out. It definitely could, or if you don't like how tall it gets, you can hold shift to just pull these eaves out to extend it the rest of the way. So that is an option, or you can just leave it where it is. That's actually totally fine too. Oh, and you did multiple pieces. I'm guessing you were doing that to work around some clipping issues, so kudos to working on that. Alrighty. Oh, this is not an actual room. Interesting. Okay, I would like to work around this, but I am just going to go ahead and close it off. That wall placed on the wrong level for no apparent reason. There we go. Is the building next door a shell? I actually... Where is this one? Oh, this was the weird cat house that we did on TikTok a while ago. This one, I don't remember if that's a shell or not. I'll have to... I don't know. Okay, so I'm just closing this off as a room. I'm not sure why it wasn't a room before, but we can definitely keep it a room with the tower. Oh, this one. This is just a world debug object thing. Alright, so I'm gonna leave that there. We'll paint it though. We can definitely make it an actual room though. We can work around that. I expect it had something to do with the roofing, but... Oops. There we go. You want to build it? Build it. Do it. I believe in you. Okay, so I actually did like the roof shape on the front here and sort of the farmhouse barn merging that was sort of going on there. That is the front. It was Brindleton actually. Awesome. It didn't really have room. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look. Because in theory, we should be able to grab the two half-gabled roof pieces and place them on either side, and by default, they shouldn't clip in. They'll only clip in if you're adjusting the height, which we shouldn't have to do. We should be able to just do this. And then on the top, I'm going to... Actually, I'm going to pull in the front and back eaves, and then also hold shift to just pull in the top eave. Like this. I'm going to place a ceiling, and then we can grab that hipped roof piece again. And I know you had a bit of a curve to this one. I do want to pitch this down a little bit though. There we go. So we could do that, or we could do the same thing with a gable. Again, just pitching it down a little bit. And if you wanted to keep the gable, then you could bring these eaves back out as well. Just tuck those in. So there's a bit of that more barn shape that we were going for in the beginning, and you did have it curved initially. Let's see, I think you had it curved up. Let's see. So if I do Shift C, that'll give me some extra curving controls, and I should be able to just adjust a little bit to get some of that curve. I'm going to pull all of them up, but this shouldn't adjust the height so much that it's going to clip through the walls. So we've got that going for us, and to match the curve, I'm just going to copy, rotate, and place to make that easier. So there you have a little bit of the curve, but because we didn't curve the top piece, it should actually line up with the rest of the roof a little bit better, which is definitely a goal. I kind of like the open face better, but again, you could switch this out for another hipped roof piece and it would be totally fine. Let's see, I'll push this eave back to keep the fence from being too weird. And now we'll move on to the main part of the build. A farmhouse, especially an American farmhouse, tends to have a fairly steeply pitched roof and relies heavily on gable pieces, so I'm just going to go ahead and start there with one gable right at the front there. Now this could be default pitch, or we could pitch it up a little bit higher. I'm going to start higher and then we'll see how we do. And this one, I'll actually have to split in half because I want eaves overhanging this door, but they can't be overhanging the half gable roof pieces. So we're just going to piecemeal this together. So that's two roof pieces without eaves and one with eaves in the middle to get that shape. And then we'll see about this in just a second. First, I'm going to copy and place this one here. Which will also fit pretty well in this direction. And again, I'm going to take the roof piece, hold shift to pull back that one eave, copy, place, tuck in the side eaves, And there we go. It's probably the most frequently used roofing hack that I have. Okay, so we've got that, and we'll do something similar on this back part here. I don't know if this is going to be too wide. It is not perfect. Okay, except this is just going to have to be one tile. Alright, so there is a more classic farmhouse shape. I still have to roof this part, which I am debating on how to best do that. I could pull in another gable facing forward like this, which would help frame up those windows, which would be pretty nice. But then that still leaves me with the question of what to do here. The easy answer would be grab a half gable, because I don't think that pulling this out is going to be the answer. No. Alright, so I could use a half gable, or I could split this main gable up again. I think I'm just going to go with a half gable. So if I put this here, I'm going to start this piece by pulling all of the eaves in. And I want it to line up with this corner, lining up with this corner as best as possible, which will sort of disguise the fact that it's a separate roof piece. And then we'll copy and place it again, but make it more narrow so that we can pull this eave out. There. Excuse me, tower. Okay. Oh, I did just realize that this vine is sticking up through the roof. I don't know if that was like that initially, if I messed up this roof piece, but I'm going to pretend that it's fine. That tower is really getting on my nerves. Alright. Now, I also don't know if you have any fireplaces. Doesn't... Oh, you do have one over here. Okay. That one does not have a chimney, and it's too far to the edge for me to use it. Alright, I was just going to say that sometimes when you have weird roof intersections like this, it can be helpful to actually add a chimney. I like to do that by building a room, and then I should be able to build another room on top of that. This one, though, I'm going to change out for half walls instead. And I want it to be just a bit taller than that other piece of roof. Remove the ceiling. And now, if I add that stone texture, or bricks, or whatever it is, we have a very nice little chimney. And half wall trim as well. Tower.
That was my fault.
Dynasty Craft, thank you for sponsoring. What? Tech is working on the bot, I guess, so we might be getting some funny messages. Yeah, I got on yours. Okay. Yeah, the tower's weird. So... I'm not unhappy with it. I think I'm gonna paint it real quick, and then we'll see if there's anything else that needs to change. And if not, we'll do a little roof piece tour. Okay, I am also not sure why this paneling is on the outside. Usually if you do multicolored outsides, you have some sort of dividing line, whether that's like a column, or if you're like here where this part of the build is sticking out a little bit more. So style opinion is I would try to use physical division as well as the color division if you can. It's not like necessary, but in my opinion it would look better in the long run. Okay, I think that's all of it. So there's our little farmhouse attached to a barn. This is actually a really cute concept. I like this. Kate and baby girl, welcome. I'm glad you could make it to the stream. So we're going to do a quick little roof piece tour here. For a farmhouse and barn, you'll often see either very, very dark shingles like this, since black and white is a common theme, or you'll see some corrugated metal. I'm going to start with this over on our barn roof. So we have two slightly curved half gable roof pieces, and then three low-pitched gables running in this direction, And the reason we have so many is because this one has to have the eaves pulled in, but I wanted the eaves pulled out here over the door, and then I wanted the eaves pulled in again to sort of bring it all the way in. So there is our little barn roof. And then for the main part of the build, we have two main gables sort of running in this direction, plus the two here, which are again stacked because of eaves. One there, two back here, and then this is actually two different half gables, which I used to just sort of give the illusion of this piece coming forward a little bit more without actually adding another piece, which would create another step like we covered up with this chimney here. Sometimes you just add a chimney where it looks best and pretend a fireplace used to be there but was taken out. That's the case with a lot of chimneys these days anyway, so I feel like that's quite realistic. That's why I was looking to see if there was a chimney that would or a fireplace inside which would make sense to have a chimney, but the only fireplace inside is one over on this wall. So I felt pretty safe with adding this chimney. I don't think anybody's going to be too mad about it. So there's a little re-roof of that one. If you wanted to pitch this roof up any higher, I think it'd be really cute taller, but you'd probably want to add some more windows or possibly like an upper level deck or something to break that up a little bit. So I will put this back on the gallery, which is called Ranch Attempt Furnished. I'm going to change this to Ranch Attempt Re-roof so you can find it. And re-roof with the hashtag TikTok. So this will be on my gallery for anybody who wants to take a look at it, and the original builder will always be listed as well in that description, which I'll show you as soon as this loads. Gosh. Alright. Joshy, how is the tower build going? Let me know. There we go. So if you go to the gallery and you go to Sam and Bean and you find any of these re-roofs, which reminds me I still have to take the ones down from last week because I'd prefer to not keep them up too long, you will always find the original builder listed here under the original buy. So if you really like the build but it's missing some stuff, or you just want to see what else they have, go ahead and click that and check out the original builder as well. Okie dokie. I think... Who else was here? I think Alex. Alex is here as well. I think you had one that we were going to look at. So I'll take a look at that. I have to scroll up and find where you listed your ID. There, okay. Oh, here it is. Perfect. Okay, so this one is update to landscaping, possible roof, and some window placement. Alright, so the roof looks quite... like, the roof is fine. There are a couple of things that I'll tweak, but overall it's not a bad shape. It is snowing though, so I'd like to get it somewhere where it's not snowing. And this is a 3020 Promenade. I think this looks like it's from Magnolia Promenade, so let's jump over there. How do you submit your build? Yes, you can put Sam Help Live in your gallery upload, and then just let me know that you have one, because if you're here actually in the live, I will prioritize your builds, otherwise I'll just pick them at random from the gallery. Which reminds me, I've been favoriting the gallery ones that I've already done so that I don't accidentally do them again later on. So we did those, I believe. So it's basically like my checklist technique there. And where are we going? We're going over to Magnolia Promenade. I have to fix my mic here a second. I think we're good. Okay. 3020. Don't know what any of these lot names are necessarily, so I'm going to put it here and pretend it's right. And then we wait. Oh, TikTok is telling me we have 4 new followers. Thank you. I completely miss those messages. I'm very sorry. Also, hey, if you're watching on TikTok and you didn't know this already, I have a YouTube channel where I do a whole bunch of tutorials, including this one, which is an industrial. This one in particular is base game only, but I try to go over other packs that you can use as well. And that one I used a lot of werewolves stuff. So if you have werewolves and you want to build industrial, that's a great video. You should go watch it and make sure you watch the ads. Alright. You don't actually have to watch the ads if you don't want to. It's fine. Reasonably average. LizTheDeer Lavender House. Awesome. If I lose that message before we're done with this one, please come back and let me know again. Okay, this little landscaping cutout is adorable. Literally the only thing is like maybe a couple more plants. But that depends on if this is supposed to look like a super, I don't know, like is this landscaping or is it a lawn that you're actually using like for your dog or whatever? So that's where you have it. Oh, perfect. I guessed right. Yes. So you could potentially bring in more plants if you wanted this to be landscaped. Right now it's reading like a small patch of grass for your dog or something like that. So that is nice. Oh, you have a little bit of a lawn back here as well. Okay. And you're using terrain paint, so congratulations. We just went through a building. Okay. So, actually the one thing that I was going to say with the roof is just it's quite separated from the rest of the build because of this trim, but the more I look at it, the more I realize like I see what you were doing there and I actually really like it. So I don't think I'm going to touch the roof on this one. I really like it. I would match the shingle colors, so I'll do that. But I really, really like the shape of this one. Let's see. Looking for more on the landscaping. Okay, we can definitely work on that. Perfect just sent me a thing on Discord that I need in my life. I will take a look when the stream is over. Hopefully it'll be fine. Okay, we'll take a look at the landscaping then. Yeah, I really like the shape of this. The windows I think are working pretty well. Let's see. The only thing that's sticking out to me really with the windows as well is just that you have this roof piece and the patio and then these windows, and it's not quite like, doesn't make a very nice line, but you know, it's fine. Okay, since this is a much more minimal design, I'm not going to add to which plants you're using, we're just going to add more plants. So I'm going to take the cypress tree, oh, I forgot that those are huge. And we can actually scale it down one more. So I think I'll add another one here and basically use my shrub rules for this, which is you want a total of an odd number, either groups or total. We're going to go for an odd number total, I think, today. So odd number total, which is 3, even though we have an even number of groups. And I'll grab a few more of these as well. Again, varying the size a little bit. I do have move objects turned on, which hopefully isn't going to be a problem. It's basically the same thing, just opposites. So that's all right. Definitely want to grab a couple more rocks. Looks like you're just going with the default swatch on this one. I found you a book. I feel mildly threatened. So, if I don't come back on Thursday, you know what happened. Perfect sent me a book and somehow it destroyed me. Okay. Yes, more rock for more texture and dimension without actually adding too many more plants, because I don't want this to feel too busy. Also perfect if you'd like me to stop harassing you, let me know. Yes, stuff can be cloned. Thank you very much. Okay, I'd like to scale some of these down to place inside the rocks. If you hold Shift and Alt at the same time, Alt lets you ignore the grid and Shift lets you place multiple of the same item, which is very handy, unless you forget to hold it, in which case it doesn't do you much good at all. Okay, so we're filling that in a little bit. You know what I think might actually look good here as well would be some sort of lawn decoration. If I stream for 40 years making only Victorian houses, perfect to ruin my work-life balance. Well, darn it, now I want to go look. I'm busy. Okay, I think something like a bird bath would be nice because since I really want to stick with limited plants, it'll bring a little bit of height and sort of break up our very solid line that we have going across here. So that could be nice. Plus you have the dining room right there, and that's just a nice thing to look at while you're eating, you know, is birds fighting in a bird bath. It's a great time. Gnomes could potentially be an addition if you're into gnomes. Otherwise just something simple I think would add quite a bit to this landscape. And let's see if we have any colors that really go with the build. Don't think so. I think one of the off-whites is going to be our best bet. Alright, and then after that, we will go in with terrain paint again. Welcome back. I'm glad you made it. Which terrain? Nope, you're not using that one. Nailed it. Okay. So I'm going to bring this in. So that will fill that in. If you wanted to look more like mulch, you could possibly go with the pine duff, which is, I think, the most mulch-y stuff we have. Or this might actually be a good opportunity to also go in with some rocks, which is another popular landscaping sort of fill. So that's how I would fill it up to keep some of that minimalist aesthetic, but not going like too overboard. It's called Victorian City and Country Houses, Plans and Details. Dang. That sounds really nice. The fireworks are going off and the dog is freaking out. I'm sorry. The week of the 4th of July is rough. Babies, dogs, everybody. Nurse, what game is this? This is The Sims 4. Now we're going through and doing some build troubleshooting today. This is a really nice build. From a block of 5 cities. I'm very curious. I'll have to look at that after stream. If I get enough time to do landscaping, I will look at that as well. I believe the next one up is over on TikTok. I'm trying to keep everybody in order, but if I mess up, I am sorry. I am doing my best. These streams are also doing surprisingly well, which is awesome. It's just hard for me to keep track. Britt, hi! Welcome! I'm so glad that you made it. Is it better if I watch here on YouTube? Really, the only difference is YouTube's going to give you a couple of ads to start, which will make me like 5 cents, maybe, like at most. Also, YouTube tends to have better connection. So if TikTok starts freaking out, YouTube tends to not drop frames as much. So that looks really cute. Awesome. I'm glad that you like this one. Also, if you wanted to bring some of this landscaping in the back, I would probably put it here, and then leave this as more of your lawn area. But this is just such a cute little well-planned lot. Like, it really fits into this space. I really like it. I'd probably leave it grass if it was my house. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this. So if anybody's wondering where they can get this lot, you can find, this wasn't a re-roof, this was more of re-landscaping. So I'll be uploading it as Promenade Peak Landscape, just landscape. That's the only word that will fit. And the original builder will always, of course, be linked in that lot as well. I think the little bit of extra green looks pretty nice. Oh, I completely forgot to do before and afters with the other ones. I'm so sorry. I've been trying to do that. So here's the before. So the original Promenade Peak by Alex. I'm afraid I'm going to say that wrong. So just this one right here. This is the original. Oh, you have some really nice stuff. Nice. So that's the before, and we just redid some of the landscaping, so now we've got some more trees here. I think that really helps frame out those big picture windows. I like that. High five me. Is there a difference in video quality? You can't see anything but basic shapes in video quality on high. That is strange. That should not be happening. I know frequently when I watch YouTube lives specifically on my phone and have it in full screen, my phone refuses to play at anything higher than like 720 maybe? It's rough, and I don't know why. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that from my end, but you can complain to YouTube if you want. No ads with YouTube Premium? Awesome. That is cool. Technically, I don't know how much you guys care about the facts and numbers and whatever, but technically YouTube Premium actually does pay out pretty decently compared to ads. Like, there's not a huge profit difference, but sometimes Premium does pay out a little bit more, like as a creator, which is super duper fun. Alright, I do know that we had a request over from TikTok. Let me see if I can find it again. Shoot, where are you? After Joshy's reasonably average. Okay, let's take a look. I don't... the stream hiccups are coming back. I need a stream hiccup cure. I don't see it here, so let's try and find your ID. Liz LizTheDeer, and hey, let's see if I can actually use the right ID this time instead of the wrong one like we did last stream. Lavender. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So this is a 4030, so back to 4030 we go. Scrolling down, Lavender House LizTheDeer. Yes, so let's check that one out. Love and landscaping, awesome. I'm glad. It didn't feel like much, but sometimes not much is just what you need. YouTube is giving tech problems. Of course it is. What did I say, 4030? Which direction is it facing, though? I don't know if I can tell from here. You only wanted to make something a little wacky, fair enough. The roof feels very uninteresting. Interesting. Okay, we can definitely work on that. I think I'd like to find... I don't know if this 4030 is going to work very well, but we can try. We will try. It could be because of dual streaming. Maybe. I do have a lot going on, but all my stats and everything are saying that it's going, like the output is decent, so I don't know. You're gonna be right back. All right, see you in a minute. Perfect. Oh, tech is on it. He's the tech support in case you couldn't tell. If you haven't already picked your lifetime partner, I do recommend somebody in IT. It's very handy. Tech Junior's doing his thing. Echoes heading out. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. And yes, the rest will be on YouTube again, 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. I do try to like cut off the front and back, so it takes a little bit longer to process, but it will be up. Okay, this is a lot of glass. I'm probably not going to keep all of the glass. It's very, very pretty, and I will totally incorporate some of it. But I think that using it as more of a statement and less of an overall design might work for us. Hey, you're back. You just worked for 13 hours, 2 jobs, back to back. Dang. Well, go you. Wow. The BFF household in Willow Creek is 43. I think this will work okay. I was a little bit concerned about the visibility, but we just have palm trees. We don't have towers. Oh, and look at this. Okay, this path is beautiful. Like, that is really well done as far as paint goes. I'm getting totally distracted. So, what were the things? I'm going to read them again. Roof feels very uninteresting. We can work on that. And the two parts feel too separated from each other. You don't want to have to hide it behind a garden tree. Oh, okay, so we definitely don't need to keep the glass roof, and I'm just going to get rid of this tree for now, and we'll come back to it if we need it. So you do have windows in this direction, which is fine, but it's going to mean that this roof is going to be pretty low, unless I can get rid of those windows. I might get rid of the windows because they're not necessarily necessary, and I think there are a couple of better things we could do with this side to help these two pieces feel a little bit more cohesive. This is definitely giving very much sort of an East Lake, maybe more like a Queen Anne shotgun style, or maybe it's maybe we'll go with folk. Maybe we'll go folk Queen Anne on this one. Yeah, we'll do that one. All right, because nerdery. So if we're going to run with a folk Queen Anne, we actually want the roof to be pitched fairly high. However, while this might look kind of silly, if we push it back and then grab a half-hipped roof piece to actually cover the deck, that should help significantly with breaking some of that up. And we can adjust the pitch a bit as well if we need to. So we'll start with that. Take a closer look. The windows can go. Awesome. Some of you still have no money. I feel that. So I might pitch that down a little bit. Okay, so that's going to give us a much more interesting shape to start. I might bend my own rules a little bit and pitch this down. Okay, I'm going to try something. It might not be worth it, but I'm going to copy and place this roof piece again, but bring it down to only 1 tile wide so that I can match the pitch with the main roof and bring the eaves out. Nope, that's not going to look good. Never mind. Pretend I didn't do that. Because we do have this little overlap here, which is not very nice. But the best way to fix that is to make the roof pieces the same pitch, and if we make them the same pitch, we're going to have an issue where there's just not going to be like enough of this roof showing to really be that interesting. And I don't want to pull it completely over the front deck. So troubleshoot some other directions as well. We might be able to do it like this, which clips through a little bit less. So what this does is it pushes the base of the roof back. You can see that green rectangle there. And then we'll pull out the eaves extra, and it'll still cover everything. It'll just make this part look a little bit less weird. So I think we'll go with that. So hopefully that'll give us a slightly more interesting roof shape from the front. Now, folk Victorian styles, this is a very classic shape. Typically, they would actually have a second story in this direction as well, or at least a half story, and the half story is sort of what I want to add, but it requires me removing those windows so that I can place a roof going in this direction. Now, if a roof is taller than the wall that it's next to for the room, it will clip in. It doesn't look like it's clipping in too bad here, but I do want to bring up the pitch on this one a little bit, which is going to make it clip in more. So what we're going to do instead is push this back so that our green line is one tile away from the main part of the build, and then hold shift to pull this in. So instead we'll have a little bit of a hole here, but it's not going to clip through, and that's like a super quick way to fix that. Actually pull it in a little bit more so that it intersects, maybe? Ooh, are we gonna have to do the full-on fancy pants fix? Might have to do full-on fancy pants, but we'll try this. Oh no, that'll be okay. Alright. So I'm gonna start with this, but I want to add, at the very least, a dormer in here. And I'm hoping that bringing a little bit more height to this side of the build, again, will help with that disjointed feeling. This isn't quite turning out how it was in my brain, so we might try again from a different angle. It's like the house is wearing a cute little sun visor. That's adorable. I can see it though. It's quite common in this house. Well, again, I picked a house style and I'm running with it because that's how I work. So the folk Victorian would typically have a slightly steeper gable roof, and then the deck, which is frequently just one level, but I'm fine with it being two today, would have this more hipped roof over it. And if it was just one level, we'd also add another gable in the middle over the stairs to protect from snow, but we don't have to really worry about that too much with this one. Alright, I'm wondering if what's throwing me off is how wide this part is. We might have to go full fancy pants. Because what I'm trying to do is make the top part of the roof line up in such a way that we don't have too many conflicting textures. Yeah, I think this is actually going to be our best bet. Because if I want to bring this up much steeper, I'm going to have to bring it up significantly more so that this can be a full 4 tiles. And that, I think that's going to be too tall. That is far too tall. Okay, so this is as tall as that roof can be, but I don't like how much roof is showing. So that is why we're going to try and add what's going to look like a half story over here. So we want some sort of dormer situation. And I need it to look decent with the window arrangement from below as well, which is why I was starting with just the one in the middle. The other thing is because this wall height is medium, I can't like make it too short, just the mechanics of the game. So the only way to make it shorter would be to push it back into the build a little bit more, or into the roof rather. which is alright. Let's see. But if we push it too far back and it's too small, then it's going to be a craftsman, and we're not doing a craftsman. And if you don't care about all of this stuff, maybe a different stream. Oh my goodness, I was not paying attention because Tech was doing things, and he is full on. What are you doing? How's the stream quality for? Oh, you're working on polls. How delightful. Good, great, and okay, each of which have 1 vote. Huzzah. Alright, might try the 2 dormer thing, which owl emoji has suggested. It's not. Oh no. Yep, that was brilliant. Okie dokie. Maybe if I move the grid down. Okay, so we'll try 2 dormers instead. That might work better. I'd rather them be shorter. Nope, I think the taller is going to have to be it. Let's give it a quick paint and see how we're feeling. It definitely still looks like an addition, but might be alright. And we're using the well-crafted triple window primarily. However, I don't know. I guess it doesn't look that bad. So we could do a nice big window like that up top, or we could grab these smaller versions from that pack, which is growing together. So that would be this window in this swatch. So we could also do this one. That's a personal taste thing. This is absolutely fascinating and learning so much. I like learning things and then passing the information on to YouTube and TikTok now as well. So if you like random facts about houses, stick around. And if you don't, that's okay too. You can still be my friend. Alright, we might run with this. Now, I actually really liked that glass roof texture. It's just, I didn't think it was working for us in the way we needed it to work. However, we might be adding a skylight. You know what? Let's add a skylight. We're going to add a skylight above the stairs here. So, how you'd want to add a skylight to... Hang on, let me make sure this is actually going to work. I'd like to move the grid up a level. It's not going to move up a level. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to do a wee bit of troubleshooting here before I fully commit to the skylight. I did just add a room, but it's to see if I can get this roof to behave in the way that I need it to get a nice skylight in. Typically, if you're going to build a skylight in a gable roof, you want the gable roof to be an even number of roof pieces, or an even number of tiles, but ours is not. It is an odd number of tiles, but this looks like it will actually work fine. So, I am going to use this room for now, but I will delete it before the build is actually done, and that's just going to let me place the roof pieces where I need them, which is not this one. So put this one back, and I want it to be over the stairs, which is here-ish, I believe. Yes. So I'm going to start by pulling this roof piece over, and then I'm going to hold shift to just push in this one eave, copy, rotate, and place in the other direction. So we're going to have in the middle here our 2 gables facing one another with the eaves pulled in. Next, I'm going to take a, nope, there we go, a half gable roof and place it on either side. Now we are using the default roof pitch, which is making this deceptively easy. But I promise it's fine. You can do it as well. And then we'll do a gable on the top. So now, if I take that glass roof texture and put it here, I think we're using this one. That looks right. And then take one more half gable roof piece to rotate and place here. pull that back. We should get a pretty decent skylight. I'll hold Alt to just adjust the roof ever so much and pitch it down so that we don't get that weird clipping. And now we have a fancy little skylight there. If we wanted it to be a bit bigger, we could push this in and then pull this roof. No, we couldn't do that. Wrong direction. Yeah, we can pull the eaves back, which will make it a full-on square. That's actually really nice. I like the square. So there is a little skylight inside a gable, and if I delete this, we do still have, there's not actually a room here anymore. We do still have a wall here because of the way that the glass roof works. There's a way to do it without walls, but it messes with the interior lighting, so I tend to stick with the walls, and I'll zoom down inside real quick to show you what this looks like as well. Also, how am I moving the camera around? This is the Twisted Mexi Build Cam mod, which also comes with the... Okay, so this is how it looks inside. Which also comes with the Better Build By mod. I don't use Better Build By, I just use the Build Cam, so there is the skylight from inside. So this is looking at it from the stairs. Looks like we hit our target pretty decently. And then I can also go up the stairs and go over here and take a look at it from over here as well. So I'll try to not give you too much motion sickness, but there is the skylight. I also really like using this super fancy glass because the shadows, if you have your resolution high enough, you can kind of see it there on that wall. The shadows do actually go through the build, which is just, it's so pretty. So there is one way to do a skylight. Let's do a quick little roof tour as well. So you know what, I might go with the scallop shingles, that'll be cute. So, we have the 2 large gables here, plus a smaller one there, and the 3 half gables. Obviously I'm not going to color this one in, but it's there. Over on this side we have 2 more gables, and 2 more gables for the dormers, and finally we have the half-hipped roof piece at the front there. For the trim we have a lot of white, so I'm just going to go with a nice white roof trim and make sure I hit all of those gables and half gables that we placed over there. I think that's all of them. Now adding more windows like in the roof pieces and whatever is totally up to you, or you could add trees or whatnot, but hopefully this looks like it's all tied together a little bit better now. And you don't have to hide it with a tree. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the gallery, because I believe that was the main concern, and there was a little bit of concern about the landscaping, but I think we fixed that. Yeah, because we didn't want to hide it behind the tree. No more tree needed. Now, I'd probably still add some more flower beds and stuff, but it also looks like this is built possibly for more of a country setting, which is absolutely adorable as well. Okay, so this will be called Lavender House Reroof, which will be on my gallery. In just a few seconds here, hopefully. It looks so much better. Awesome. I'm glad. It was fun. It took a minute to figure out which direction we were going, but we got there. A square sky roof? Yeah, that's one way to do it. I'll do another video about skylights at some point as well. Alright, I think I said I was going back to YouTube for the next one, so who was that? Got to get through all of Tech's messages first. So we already did echoes. Terrence, I think you were asking about colors. Yes, so we answered some of those questions. Alex, we already did. Hi, Sabrina. I can't find the message I was looking for. So if you're on YouTube and you asked for a build to be looked at, please let me know because I can't find your message. I need you to get a better method. Do you have suggestions for a better method? Alright. Tech may have a method for YouTube, which would be helpful. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Sabrina, you have a new one? Did you put the baby girl you had on? Oh, what was your ID? Or did you put it on the under the hashtag? Anyway, I just wanted to also show you guys that you can find the original builders again just by clicking on. If you go to my gallery, you can find the original builder under the original buy. Okay, so it is babygirlatwell. And Terrence, you also added one to the hashtag. All right. Grace, you also have one, but it has 1,000,000 packs. I don't quite have all the packs yet. Let's see if we have these up here. Ow. Sorry, my hand is cramping up, so we're gonna have to give that a second. That's new. It's all the accounting I was doing earlier. Darn math. Alright, well, we'll see how that goes. Check that one off. 2 Old Mill Lane. Oh, that's, yes, okay. I recognize this. This is the message I was looking for. Sorry I couldn't find it. 5040. Let's jump over there. Am I missing some of the packs? Yes. So some things will be missing, but generally if we're working on roofs and windows and landscaping and stuff, we don't need all the packs. So we'll see. Sometimes the windows does throw me off, but it'll be okay. Okay, so did I say 5040? We'll figure out a better method for this. 5040. Okay. Has a 5040. Do you have a 5040? I think so. Isn't that... Yeah, I think that's this lot, actually. How do I have so many worlds? I buy expansions. I try to buy them as soon after they release as I can. But... doesn't always happen. However, I have been sent a couple, so that was really nice. Oh, we still have the mushroom house. This one was a lot of fun to sort out. I think this is still the before, or is this the after? Is this one I did? I don't remember. This one was cute, though. Okay. So let's grab our big old farmhouse here. So yeah, so I think I have every pack that has a world now. So I think I have all of them. Captain Crochet, you just got to build and your power went out? No! Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. One or more items may not be installed. Oh no. Okay, yeah, see, like, we still got what we need. This is such a lovely place. I like the pond. The hiccups are coming back, that's fine. Alright, it just says the hashtag. What? Remind me, were we doing the roof on this one, or the console? The console gets autosave, but we don't get autosave? Psh. Yeah. Alright, so were we looking at the roof on this one, or something else? Lexi, welcome. Do I ever do gameplay or just builds? Pretty much just builds. I'm not really a gameplay person. I try, and then I get bored and start building instead. Landscaping? Okay, cool. We can definitely take a look at the landscaping then. Sorry, I don't know why my hand is cramping up. This is a new issue. I might have... Is it one of those, like, compression glove things? We'll take a look at that. Okay. This looks like... See, we've got some flower beds back here and some bushes. Might do some more landscaping around the pond. I don't want to put too much over here just because I'm afraid that it's going to mess with the garden and everything. I'm guessing this is a greenhouse, and that's why, yeah, it's a greenhouse, and I don't have anything. Oh, alright. Tech and Tech Junior are working on things again. You're just always building around cast. So, yeah, I've thought about, if I do gameplay, it'd probably be just like some weird random one-off challenge. Not so much a long-term thing. I don't think it'd be enjoyable for anybody. I get bored too fast and go back to building houses. So I think what we're looking at here with your landscaping is you have a lot of different plants, which is fine. It's just the way that they're grouped together. It's very much like, this is your wildflower section. This is your, what is this plant called? The purple perennial flowers that aren't purple. Your plants are very sectioned off, and I think it'd probably be best to sort of mix them up a little bit more. Okay, Tech is going to be cluttering the chat again. I kind of just default to ignore the blue. So if I miss your chat, I'm sorry, blame him. Am I building or looking at other builds? We are doing troubleshooting of other people's builds today. So right now we're looking at this build, which I didn't do, and we're taking a look at the landscaping. This is a fairly large build, however, the landscaping space is actually pretty limited. So I am going to pull aside the plants that I want to keep and delete the other ones, then we'll go through and talk about landscaping method. So I'm going to keep these. I think three shrubs is totally fine, but we don't want the fourth one. So I'll just delete all these. I'll even leave the terrain paint, because I actually like the shape of a lot of this. And now this one you have in a whole bunch of different swatches. This is very pretty. But I don't know how many we want to keep. It's like either going to be these or the wildflowers. Actually, you know what? Let's keep these. Let's keep the rainbow ones. And we'll keep some lower plants as well. They are all different. Okay. We'll keep those, but then I'm going to get rid of most of those. This I'm going to leave. That's fine. We're going to get rid of the wildflowers and all these. Oh, there are a whole bunch from here. Okay, so now we have significantly narrowed down our plant selection. We're also going to add rocks, and you did have these for some low-lying plants, which is okay. I want to pick one, but I think I'll actually go with the pansies for this one. Hey Montana, welcome. I'm glad you could make it. There's a lot. Oh no, that's fine. I'm just trying to get this set up in a way where it's going to make the most sense for like everybody. So this is all set up. This is the stuff I usually cut out of the YouTube videos. You were super into gameplay in Sims 2 and 3, but not into Sims 4. I've heard that from a lot of people. Okay, so like gameplay, I might do a little bit of gameplay in Sims 2 or Sims 3 if I could get my hands on it at some point. Or Sims 1 would be crazy because I've never even seen that one played. Like in real life, but might do that. But I wouldn't do like a whole Sims 4 series. So what we're looking at here is we've really isolated our plant selection. And by using a smaller selection of plants throughout the whole build, it's going to give the overall landscaping a lot more cohesion. Me is asking Tech questions, so I'm gonna have Tech look over my shoulder and I'll answer through him. He's busy with other technological things though. Or if you join the Discord, you can ask him questions there too. So Me has this question, which has a bunch of numbers in it that I don't know about. So for landscaping, we want to stick with, for a large lot, 3 shrubs, which is a non-flowering large green thing, is totally fine. Typically I'd recommend starting with about 2, but I think 3 will be okay here. And what we want to do is just place a few of these around, but in a total of an odd number, either of groups or total. But right now this is an odd number of groups, which is great. And this is an odd number total, but if we start doing it to like mirrory, it just doesn't suit the farmhouse look. That would be more of like a formal style garden, which isn't quite what we're going for today. So move that over there. I'm going to place a few of these if my keyboard will cooperate. There we go. Place a couple of those. We can place a couple of these. These will be primarily in the more open spaces, like back here, just to fill in a little bit of extra space. I don't know if I'll put any in the front here because you just have the grass there, but I'll put another one back here again and shrink one down to sort of stack. I'm going to scoot your trash can up a little bit because I don't want to accidentally mess with that. Sam, you made the garden house again with a weird... How do you keep making weirder roofs? I feel like you should run out of possibilities at some point. I'm reconsidering having this one. Fired. Alright, we're firing the tall skinny green one. I'm just going to stick with the grass. I would like another one of you. Thank you. Stick with the grasses, I think. Alright, and then once we have that sort of sorted out, with some of our shrubs in there, which we want to place first to make sure that we have areas of just solid green for the eye to sort of travel to and rest. I like to do rocks next. Now rocks, you want to make sure you color appropriately to the world. For Henford on Bagley, the rocks are actually kind of a gray tone, so I'm going to go with the second swatch and just add a couple of these, which is going to add a lot of texture and again break up some of the green and colors, which we want a lot of green and colors, but also it's nice to give your eye a chance to see something else. I think I'll just leave those there. I don't think I'm going to wrap the flower bed around there, and I'll bring all this stuff to the back as well, but I figured it's probably easier to just like focus on one side or the other or not. You looked up Pinterest photos this time? The house is the same, just in a different attic shape. Fair enough. Oh,
Just real quick, sorry.
I'm out of control of the mouse. The mouse is doing things. Ah, the mouse is adding himself as a moderator. Thanks. Okay, so once we have a couple of rocks down as well, now we'll go in with the flowers. Now I like to add these in sort of an odd number at a time. However, you have a lot of different colors, which is fun. But I might go through and add them all at the same time so I can make sure I don't accidentally completely overpower one spot with a color more than another. And I'm using my bracket keys to resize things as well. So I use my bracket keys to make them smaller or make them larger, and mixing and matching can really help with the texture aspect to make sure it doesn't look like everything's just all lined up neat and tidy. What else? I need the orange one and the pink one. I know this isn't in rainbow order, but I'm going for a more natural flower bed look as opposed to something planted more strategically. If you like the more strategic plants, then of course you can rearrange them, but I would gently recommend that you continue to use a variety of sizes. Otherwise it's just kind of going to look fake-ish. Okay, so, oh, forgot about this side over here. So I'll add another red one, another orange, yellow, blue. I was like, where's green? And then I realized literally all of the plants are green. Alright, so basically just do this a bunch of times. Nope, that was the wrong one. So that will give it a little bit more of a randomized look and a more natural sort of flow of the plants. So it'll look more like a flower bed. Obviously it still has a rainbow theme, it's just not like I'm going to place a whole bunch of very specific plants in a very specific shape. Which could definitely be a style. If we wanted to go over more like contemporary or planned landscaping, we could do that as well. And then I'm going to use this filler to sort of fill in some of the gaps under the plants. And I also chose this one because it does have the multi-colors in it, so it'll still go with that very colorful theme. Also, if you haven't already, I do recommend turning on Move Objects to Landscape. I know a lot of beginner level builders watch these videos, so hi to beginner level builders. Turning on Move Objects when you're landscaping is a great way to practice using Move Objects. It doesn't usually mess with anything, which is great. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of an extra dirt outline around the edge. Is that the right dirt? That might not have been the right dirt. Uh-oh. There we go. That's the right one. Okay. How embarrassing. So there is a little bit more of a natural flower bed. If it is make you want to build but you have no time, I know how you feel. I build a lot, obviously, but I still feel like I never have time to actually do all the things that I want to do. No, I don't want, I want the grass. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to do a similar thing back here. I'm just going to grab a few plants and put them down. Nope, there we go. Grab a couple rocks again. Rocks are also nice for filling up a lot of space quickly, which can be helpful. Fireworks are going off. I don't know if you can hear the fireworks or not. Can't exactly mute them. Okay, and then we'll grab some of these. Trying to make sure I'm getting all of the colors, but also it'll be faster if I don't zoom in too much, so try that. Still need the, is that the yellow or the orange? That's the one that's lighter on the outside, so I still need an orange. Okie dokie. It would be nice if we could mute fireworks. I know, that's what I'm saying. Just stick my universal remote out the window and push a button and bam. Problem's gone. Is there a movie with what's-his-face in it where he has this like remote that can control life? It's a really weird movie. He like dies in the hospital and his wife is like, oh no. And he's like, no, I made a mistake. I used a remote. I missed everything. I feel like that was one of those movies that like you watch when you're traveling with a huge amount of people on a bus. I feel like that's probably where I saw that. How do I resize objects? So on PC, you can resize objects using your bracket keys. So using the like beginning bracket key will make things smaller, and using the end bracket key will make them bigger. Some objects resize better than others. This one actually looks okay. A lot of the older game objects, like in the base game, have a terrible, terrible habit of just having the weirdest shadows when you resize them, which is a real shame. You don't need to have any cheats on to resize objects, but you do need to be aware of any sort of like issues you may have with them intersecting some of your other stuff. Alright, I'm going to add a few of these. Okay, so there is the after landscaping. Trying to go in more of that farmhouse direction, still keeping the rainbows, but oops, helping it feel a little bit more random and less isolated. Resizing windows doesn't work. No, resizing windows does not work, which is so dumb. I've had a few people. Oh, Click. The movie is Click. That's what it's called. Sandler. Ow, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah. I think I watched that way too late at night on like a bus or something. It was weird. Yeah, same with mirrors. Mirrors and windows do not resize, which is a shame. I'm going to put this back on together, I think. Oh, it'd be more of the same around the pond. I could just spend a whole other hour landscaping around a pond, and I'd like to try and hit some other builds still tonight. I do have multiple landscaping videos on YouTube though, and I think each one of them touches on a pond in a different way, so you can take a look at those as well if you'd like, but pretty much more the same, just next to a pond. So I'm going to put this up to Old Mill Lane. Can I put landscape at the end? No. Yes. Landscap. Okay. To Old Mill Landscape. And we'll put that up. Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun putting those videos together. So I released them in May. They're 3 all in a row. One of them is just an absolute beginner look at every single aspect of landscaping, including ponds and terrain manipulation and stuff like that. And then there's one about forests and like waterfalls and things. And then the last one is more on the cottage style landscaping. Alright, I believe we had another request over on TikTok. I'm going to scroll back and see if I can find it. I should start writing these down, or at least the usernames, so I can see. Grace, you said that you had one. I don't see if you dropped your ID or not. So Grace, if you're still here, if you still had a build that you wanted me to look at and you can drop your ID or something, that would be super duper cool. Otherwise, I'll go back over to YouTube. 14 new followers. Yeah, I've not been paying attention to that. And Sheila sent a rose. Thank you so much, Sheila. Your process of base gamifying it. Oh. You don't have to worry about that too much. Alright, I'll jump back over to YouTube then and I'll come back. I'll come back for you. Thank you so much for the followers and the rose. That's very sweet. Between the game and the 2 chats, I do struggle to keep track of all the things. So I am sorry. Again, though, thank you so much for helping with just the views on these streams. I wasn't sure how well it was going to go, honestly. But you guys have really made these streams well worth doing, and I appreciate that so much. Erica, hi! It's 5 in the morning? Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Holy cow. Lexi. Okay. While we wait for Grace to finish hers, we could take a look at yours. Oh, my mouse is not under my control again. Okay.
Trying to understand
Text doing things.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Tech, for clicking things, I suppose. Simlessy speed builds. I don't think I've watched any of Simlessy's stuff, but I've heard good things. Lexi is Buddy Lulu 14. I'll take a look at that. It's 4 in the morning. It is 11:13 right now. Did Sabrina have one, Diane? I know. I wasn't expecting it to get quite this popular that fast. If I just can I see all the messages that you sent? I cannot. Bummer. Maybe I should start pinning them. I'll work on that too. Okay, so actually, you know what? Let me write it down. Where? Nope, I don't have a pen. Going on a trip to find a pen or a pencil that's sharpened. Found one. Okay, so I'm gonna write down Sabrina. So if you... She has one and she had a hashtag. Okay, cool. I will take a look at that. And Grace is also going to upload one, so I'm gonna write your name down as well. And Lexi, who is under Buddy Lulu 14. Terrence, I thought, okay. Oh my goodness, there are too many. Okay, so let's see. So we have Terrence and Sabrina over on YouTube and Grace and Lexi over on TikTok. I'll try and get through these and then I think that'll be it for the night. But that is so many. This is a good overwhelm. It's just a lot of people and I'm really excited about this. Okay, so we are going to be to include all of these. I'm going to re-enter the hashtag to make sure that all of the recent ones are up there. And since this has been quite popular, I will make sure that we have a better way of keeping track of everything next time. I guess I could technically split between the two as well. I don't know. We'll work on that. That's something for me to think about later. Terrence, what was yours? I see lion here, iliont. Oh, yes. Okay. So this would be you. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is a 40/40, which I do not believe we're on right now. So you don't like the landscaping or the backyard. Okie dokie. Let's go grab a 40/40 and take a look. I still use a lot of packs, but nothing that should interfere with the roof. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like Tech and Tech Junior are working on figuring out a queue system, which is fantastic. We will not actually be implementing that tonight, but if he needs help and asks you guys to test it out, you're allowed to help him. You're allowed to help the man. We're just not actually going to be using that system tonight. Why did I do this to myself again? We were just at a 40/40. Or was it? This one. It's a popular lot size tonight. And I'll figure out a better way to do the keeping track of turns and stuff. If I have to, I will split and do one night on TikTok and one night on YouTube. Might do that. We'll see. Okay. I do like going the back and forth though. So we'll go ahead and place this down. Oh, this is such a pretty build. You wanted to add a fence to your kitchen, but the roof showed. Yeah, fences. Ugh, it's weird, man. The fences and the. Oh no.
I timed that so badly that there's 3 messages in a row from
Tech Junior's. Tech Junior's feeling chatty today. Okay. So this is absolutely beautiful. You mentioned work on the landscaping, and I read it and then I forgot it. Y'all, my memory. Landscaping or the backyard? Let's take a look at the backyard and see what we've got going on. I think the landscaping on this one is almost the opposite issue we had in the other one, where like there's a lot going on, but I feel like we need different flowers and less green. Okay, how are we feeling about the backyard? I'm wondering if it's like, is it tight or are we looking at the layout here? Because it does feel kind of disjointed. This little bed here is making it feel kind of separated from everything. So that's interesting. Oh my goodness, that's too many blue messages. Let's see. I think if you're feeling like some of your backyard is not feeling all connected enough, I would probably expand this flower bed this way to take up about this much space, and then remove or move this flower bed over to this space, so that essentially this area would all be backyard and you wouldn't have this plant sort of interrupting it. So that's probably what I would do, would be move this landscaping over to this corner and or push this in, sort of bring everything to the backyard, because this is very nice. But I think it's because the backyard is so narrow, it's really making it feel like 2 completely separate areas. Yeah, how separated it is. Yeah. The tile on the pool floor, that is really neat. This is a really fun shape. You're getting fans on TikTok there, Terrence. Okay, so let's get rid of this and see if we can adjust the layout. And apparently also delete a bush. Alright. I know I could probably just grab the oops, hang on. This is not a floor, I just have the tiles rotated the wrong direction. Oh, if you're trying to place tiles and you notice that they're facing the wrong direction, place them over wherever you've already laid the floor, and then if you rotate it with your period and comma keys, when the outline doesn't show up, that is the correct direction, and then we can expand that through here. So now that we have that, we can maybe move this bar over here. This feels like a nice out of the wind area. And then we can bring the lounge section over. So that could be nice. You do still have the planters, which, let's see. The planters might still make it feel separated, but I think it'll still be less separated than having the full-on, like, plants. Let's see if I can get this to line up. Very nice. So we could do something like that. Maybe bring these over. A lot of just messing around. Alright, so we definitely very much have a pool area, but I think that pulling all of these things together will help this feel like more of a rest and relaxation sort of lounge space. And we can still leave the playground equipment over here. Possibly even, let's see, does that follow through? Possibly even delete some of this. Ooh, you used a fence. Alright, hang on, can I just move this? I can. Sick. That fence is such a nice fence. So this way we can actually sort of have the playground area take up proportionately a little bit of better space, which I think will be smart. And let's just move this. Alright, I'm guessing you used to have stairs there and I accidentally deleted them. We do have these stairs. Alright, so I'll just copy and place those. Can't intersect. Do I not have move objects on anymore? Listen. I don't know why this is saying it can't intersect obstructions. It's an issue with the platforms. It's odd. I know that stairs and platforms don't always play nicely together, but they're connecting over here all right. Alright, I'll finagle with that ratio in a second. I'm hoping that if I move the fence, we'll be able to actually place the stairs. Bizarre. Interesting. Hey, Erica, welcome. Playing some Fortnite? Nice. I've missed a lot of your streams this week, I think, which I'm sorry. I've been teaching myself bookkeeping, though, so that's been exciting. It's been keeping me real busy. Alright, the stairs situation, I'm genuinely not sure what to do about that, so I might just leave it alone because I could probably get stuck on that for quite a while. Yes, fork knife. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, I gave it my best shot. So, overall though, I think that this brings a lot of the backyard stuff closer together. So hopefully that is useful. I'll go ahead and add that little bit of fence here. I think that this would be a nice place to sort of continue the playground area. So depending on how old the kids are in the situation, maybe like one of the doll houses or like a game table or something could go over here. My voice is leaving. It's actually leaving later into the stream than it usually does, so high five me for whatever I did to make that happen. There are too many chairs. I don't want all of these chairs. I just want the one chair. Goodness. Thank you. Anyway, so that could be a good place to have something like that. perfect. Welcome back. We are working on sorting this space out. Okay, I think I'll leave the backyard there. So then this could become more patio or more landscaping. Now, this is fairly maximalist landscaping with a pretty minimalist style. So I would possibly go for something more in a contemporary direction, which would be a much more limited selection of plants. So I would either go through and add more color to your landscaping, recolor some of these, or go with something more contemporary. So I'll just show you that option here, and then when I upload it, you can take a look and see. Okay, so we're going to start with rocks. This is actually really similar to the desert landscaping I did a while ago. It's a popular style in the desert. So I'm starting with stones, which I might as well just do all the way. There we go. And let's see what you already have that we can grab. We could use this. That's definitely an option. But we really want to see a lot of space between... Aren't there two of them? I feel like there are two of them. We want to see the space between the plants, really. And we want them to have some sort of balance. Could have sworn there were two of the circly ones. There it is. Right, so we can bring in some of the circles, which I think looks actually pretty good against the very squareness of the build. So if this would be planted there in front of that window, that can work. I'll bring this over here, but then for the rest of the landscape, we're going to grab much more simple plants. A really, really classic one is some sort of agave plant, or something similar depending on the climate. That's a very, very typical plant shape and style. Again, depending on the climate, possibly some ferns. What would be another good option? If we wanted to bring in some flowers, we're probably going to want to keep them pretty simple. Probably just something like this. I like this silhouette and shape and shade. I'm just going to shrink them down. And kind of the opposite of the lot that we were just on, actually line them up in a straight line. Oh, okay. I want them to be symmetrical. Okay, so now with this more minimalist landscaping, we've got this line here, which is symmetrical. It's sort of framing out this whole area of the build along with this tree, which is giving a little bit of privacy. It looks like this is like a garden room. That's really cool. And then this one over here, which, again, trying to see the space between the plants is very important, keeping it more minimalist and keeping patterns as much as possible. So this is a much more modern, minimalist, contemporary style of landscaping, which I think would probably go better with your overall build. And then, again, if you wanted to stick with more of the maximalist, I would try and actually bring in more color. Maybe, let's see, like maybe even some wildflowers. Probably not the orange, maybe the blue ones. Yeah, bringing in some more color and texture or less color and texture. So I am going to go ahead and throw this up on the gallery for you to take a look at, because I believe we're missing a whole bunch of stuff. I type in reroof like by default now. Okay. So we'll put that up. Herman, you play Sims 2? Awesome. Lexi, welcome back. Phone lagged a bit. If it's not your phone and it's just TikTok, I do have that issue sometimes. It's because I'm running OBS and TikTok and browser and Sims all at the same time. But YouTube tends to have fewer playback issues. I know we were having some issues over there earlier, but generally I get fewer complaints over on that side. This is taking a hot second to upload, but I'm pretty sure it's a fully furnished lot, so that makes sense. There we go. All right, we were also... Sabrina, you're still here. I think you're next on my list. Let's see, did you have one under the hashtag? Because I forgot to write down your username. And then we also have Grace and Lexi from over on TikTok, and then that'll be the end. So we still got 3. So we still got a minute, but I'm not taking any more, and I'm going to do a better job at actually like writing things down. Sabrina is next. I see that one, but I do not see the hashtag. Oh, Hattie, I completely missed you. Hi, thanks for coming. Landscaping Reverse Nightmare. It's fun. sabrinawizard. Okay. Oh, we did your library last time. That was fun. Ooh, so this new one, the Wizard building. Okay, cool. Is this the one that we're looking at? It looks like this is today's date, so I'm pretty sure that this is the right one. Johnny, welcome. And Diana, hi. Yes, okay, cool. This is a 3020 in the desert. So let's jump on over there. And again, if you miss part of the stream or you have to leave or whatever, the video will be up on YouTube tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. It's currently 11:30 p.m. Eastern, so you could do the math if you'd like. And I will be adding... Sorry, the stream hiccups are trying to come back. I will be adding time codes and stuff so you can find your build super duper quickly. I don't know how many we did today. It's interesting to look back and see, because last time we did 8, which is like a whole bunch. Okay, let's drop this in. This is an art center. Exciting. Oh, this is the one I almost did last time, which was completely wrong, so... Oops. Okay, it looks like we're missing some items, but that's okie dokie. Landscaping. Oh, okay, so this is desert landscaping, which is actually an excellent segue from where we were just at. Looks like this is toward the front of the build. This is very nice. Alright, so up here, actually, pretty solid as far as desert goes, but I'm going to point out a few things. So, you're using the right plants for sure. However, unless these were replaced, I don't know, maybe they're replaced, but we want to space these out a little bit more so we can see a little bit more of the dirt between them. So I'm going to just pull these apart a little bit. And again, I don't know if these are replaced with larger plants again, which is totally a possibility. Resize some of them. How many are here? Okay, just the 2. They're just stacked funny. So I'm going to pull everything apart a little bit. This will be a pretty full garden bed. So if you wanted to feel more sparse, you just go through and delete things again. So step 1, pull everything apart a little bit more. Wish you saw the TikTok comments. The ones you read inflated your ego too much. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to, like, link the chats. That would be crazy, though, if we could have both of them going, like, actually in the same space at the same time. Alright, anyway, so step 2. Step 1, creating a desert landscaping, obviously the right plants. Step 2 is spacing them out a little bit more. Not all the time, but like 99% of the time. So, these are the right plants. We just spaced them out a little bit. Next up, we want to actually make sure our rocks are desert colored. So these are just the default swatch. Desert, you tend to want the 3rd swatch, specifically in Oasis Springs. If you're building in, what's it called? Strangerville, duh. It's the same name. It's the only pack that actually has the name, I think, of the world in the title. Anyway, Strangerville you might use red, but for Oasis Springs you definitely want to use the red colored rocks. The color of the rock is going to change so much, it's crazy. Also, I like to add even more rocks because they don't need water. They're very economical that way. It's my favorite rock joke, and if you guys are sick of it, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop. That's the window button, not the alt button. Okie dokie. So we're going to add a few more rocks, and the last step is usually when we're landscaping, we grab a dirt color and paint a little bit of dirt under all of the plants. This is not actually terrain though. Interesting. Okay, never mind then. So this is actually terrain, which is fine. The sand is lovely, but usually we want to add dirt under our plants. But in the desert, we actually don't add dirt, we add gravel. Similar reasons, where we want to... Do we have a good gravel? We do. Okay, cool. We want to reduce like water loss. We could even go with the same sort of beige color of sand, but by adding the gravel, that's just a staple in the desert landscaping business. Again, 99% of the time. If you absolutely hate it, obviously you don't have to do it. It's your game. Do what makes you happy. But if you're looking for the nerd approach, go with gravel. So there is a crash course on desert landscaping. Pick the desert plants, which are pretty easy to identify. And when in doubt, just take a look at the world around you. Make sure that they're fairly well spread out. Use lots of rocks in the right color, and use gravel instead of dirt or sand or grass. So there's that. It'd be more of the same around the edge here, except we'd actually be able to use some of our terrain paint gravel instead, which we can do like a boxy one and just sort of like paint in a space to add some plants to. Now if we wanted something taller down here, we could add some desert style trees, which is whatever this one is called. Is that a mesquite tree, just in a different color? I think so. Hawthorn, nope, mesquite tree. So you could add some of the more desert style trees, which would be something like this. This one most likely not go in a gravel bed, but you could like place it off to the side on the lot so it doesn't clip into anything, but that'll add a little bit of green and shade, which is nice. Or we can grab the larger cacti, because I believe that these can actually grow quite large. So we can place a couple of those, and that will replace trees and shrubs pretty much in making something big. We don't have a choice, you can't have grass. Yeah. Grass is... I mean, okay, I live in Michigan, right? Which is an extremely wet state. There's water everywhere. We can't even keep our grass alive in the summer, so I don't know what other people are thinking. Alright, so here are some desert plants. I'll add a couple of desert rocks. And so this is just the exact same thing that we just did up there, just with slightly taller plants. And there's some desert landscaping. So I'll go ahead and put this up on the gallery so you can take a closer look. Jenny, thank you for the follow. That brings us up to 18 followers this live. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is actually really cool. I want to take a look inside. Oh, so you actually did do the inside. Awesome. Usually these are just shells. Oh, these are so cute. Are these from Seasons? Yes. I'm always impressed when people use them because they're adorable, and then I never remember to use them myself. This is such a sweet little spot. Very fun. Ooh, and also we're building a children's museum on Thursday. I'll have a poll up soon for the style, but I'm super excited specifically because of this rug set. I'm really happy to have it. Ah, this is a lovely lot. All right. Landscape again. There we go. There we go. 2 weeks ago at your grandma's, you went out and just saw dead... It's just, there's so much dead grass. Everywhere. All the time. Sabrina, you are so welcome. Perfect, wonderful landscape. Thanks. Landscapes. Beautiful landscapes. Do I unlock more things the longer you play, or do you buy expansions? I have purchased a lot. I have put a lot of money into this game. I don't want to think about it, but there are some things you can unlock through gameplay, but you have to purchase the pack for your sim to be able to unlock it through gameplay, if that makes sense. Or if you have a PC, you can do the old custom content route, which is free and fabulous. Next up, we were going to go over to TikTok again for the last two. We have Grace and Lexi. Grace, I saw your message come through with your ID, and then I completely forgot to write it down. Okay, here we go. Sam, the favorite thing about your new house is you added a side porch area. I assume that you'll be sending pictures in the Discord, so I'm excited to see those. Also, hey, join the Discord. It's a great time. Oh, it's right here. Perfect. Easy peasy. Try to make the skylight work with the beams you got frustrated. We'll take a look at that. And couldn't remember how to roof the bump out. Okay, landscaping's half done, so we'll completely ignore that, and we'll just take a look at the roof. We do have to pop over to a 40-30, though. Grace says yes, thank you. I did find it. We've got this. Thank you for keeping tabs on the chat over there. I appreciate that. What's the Discord info? So, if you join the Discord, we've got so much going on over there right now. First of all, it's just super duper cool people. But oh, I already forgot the lot size. We've got like builds and Sims and other games and 40-30. There we go. Oh yeah, text on it. All right, you can join using the link in the bio. There is a Discord for the Inherited Manor challenge as well, but the one that I'm specifically talking about is just the Salmon Bean Discord server. Also, we recently implemented a new bot which gives points based on activity, and if you're more active, you'll unlock more channels, including a giveaway channel, which I'm pretty excited to use. Hopefully pretty soon. Again, I'm teaching myself accounting this week, so I'm not going to make too many promises until all the math is done. Okie dokie. So, problem one is this skylight, which you said we were trying to work with the beams. I'll take a look from the inside as well. Try and figure out what's going on with that. And we're trying to roof this little... Ooh, okay. So let's take a look inside first. This is a closed room, which is going to make this a piece of cake. Step one is we are going to grab two diagonal half-hipped roof pieces, which we are going to rotate and line up with that little edge there. It doesn't even have to be big. We can just shrink it down to one tile and place the same thing on the other side. Next, we're going to take a half gable roof piece, rotate, place, and again bring it down to one tile. Pull in those eaves, and then match the pitch. There we go. So that's how you roof those weird little part octagon things. Now, the other thing to remember is that the diagonal eaves come out way farther than the straight eaves, so you'll have to pull these out too to cover it, which it does wrap around the build a little bit funny right on this side, but if you didn't like that, you should be able to cut it off there by rotating that roof piece. I prefer the look where it connects better. Some people prefer this where it's sort of sticking out to the side. Oops, I only needed to click it once. There we go. But I think for this one, I would opt to leave the eaves in and just use a slightly thicker roof trim to sort of cover that gap. That's the method you're trying to remember? Yeah, this one is so handy. That's what I was trying to do on that first one. It just wasn't working. Oh, I used the complete wrong everything. That's okay, I'll fix that in a second. So let's take a look at this skylight. I want to take a look from the inside because I'm wondering how we're looking. I don't think it looks too bad. So, what seems to be the issue here? Because overall the skylight has been implemented pretty well. I'm just wondering what issues you're running into with the beams, because I think it looks okay. Terrence, how often do I build with medium or tall wall heights? Actually, pretty frequently, because I do so many historical builds, especially over on YouTube. I actually do medium wall height a lot and tall wall heights fairly frequently. Couldn't see the brick, but you don't know if that's possible. There we go. Okay. So, on these walls, I think that this is just these roof pieces not being painted. There we go. Okay. if that was the issue, where, oh goodness. Okay. So if you're worried about the brick being right there, all that was this roof piece hadn't actually gotten paint on it yet. So if we go back down, let me just grab a completely random paint color. So if I paint these end pieces green and then go back down, now they're green. So hopefully that was the issue. I think it looks really nice. I actually really like having the beams inside there like that. That's really cool. Oh, and now I'm actually going to fix this. So it's the right one. Let's grab, is that the angled roof trim, I think, in black? Yes, that was it. Okay, cool. So we love an easy solution. Fantastic. Wait, are these two? You're using two different roof trims. Sneaky. Okay, well I'm going to use the angled out because it'll look better than the angled in. Okay. Well, cool. I'll go ahead and pop this back up on the gallery for you, and I'm not gonna, again, I'm closing my eyes and not looking at the landscaping. So we'll put that up. It's not even a re-roof, it's just roof help. I'll just call it roof. And I know it's technically on TikTok and YouTube, but I just figure with the TikTok hashtag, if you guys put on the hashtag TikTok in my gallery, if the gallery is working, it should bring stuff up pretty easily. Sometimes the gallery doesn't work, which we all know and love. Okay. And the last one was Lexi. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, we're doing yours next, and that'll be the last one because I need to go to bed. And again, we'll work on the whole like build submission system a little bit better. Good news, bad news. This took off, which is super duper exciting. I'm just struggling to keep up appropriately. And I want to make sure you guys like know how appreciated you are. Putty Lulu 14. You are here. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to take a look. Okay, so you said you had two. Was there one in particular you were hoping to take a look at? Also, Tech, do you have any ideas for the TikTok queue, or is sticky note my best bet? Okay, I didn't think so. Whichever one we like? Okay. Let's see. This one looks like kind of a farmhouse. This is pretty similar to a couple we did already, but this one looks interesting. I'd like to give this one a shot. This is a 30-20, so we'll jump over to a 30-20. Which will, of course, take 7,000 years to load. There we go. We should just be able to go right next door. Oh, someone asked about a split level early on in the stream, but I've like refused to remove this particular lot from my game because it took so freaking long to put together. But this right here, which is not where we're building today, the stream hiccups are coming back. This is a tri-level. So this is one level here, one level raised up on a foundation, which we can see over here, and a third level up here. This is the one that has a tutorial on YouTube. So if you're interested in learning how to put together split levels, specifically a tri-level in this formation, there are a ton of ways to do it. But if you want to know how this one is put together, that is on YouTube. Also, we did this like classic above ground pool that everybody has. So that was fun. And this is a build from a while ago. This one was a piece of work. All right. So let's take a look at this guy. You're bad at landscaping. I'm sorry. Well, first off, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you came through earlier, so hi and welcome. This is the last one we're going to do tonight because I do have things to do tomorrow, so I do have to go to bed. I can't just accidentally do another like 3.5-hour stream, but which I've totally never done before. But I'll be back, and we're working on figuring out a better queue system, and I love landscaping. So this one, this is quite interesting as far as style goes, because I'm seeing some classical elements, but also, like, it's almost like a classical suburban, I feel like. I definitely want to bring in some more open faces. I think that will help. This roof is just too heavy with all the closed faces. I just want to strategize where I want to put them. I'll move your chimney over to the side. Landscaping and roofing. Alright, let's start with the roofing, and then we can talk about the landscaping as well. So, starting at the top. I know for sure that I would like to have a gable here. My next question is, do I want to stack another gable behind it like this and go for a more suburban direction, or we could do a hipped roof piece like you originally had, because I do try to not stray too far from your designs, and this would bring it back more. Whoop, that is a tree. I am so good at grabbing trees. More classical. I think I like the suburban direction better. We actually haven't. Have we just done a plain old suburban yet today? I don't think so. Makeup with Mar. Hey, first of all, you should teach me how to do my makeup because I don't know anything. It's so funny. You feel like you're in some school. Tradesies. This lot doesn't have an even square foot. One side is one tile and one has two. On this one, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that one. Anyway, yes, Andre, hopefully you'll be able to come back for the next one. I'm not trying to kick you out, I'm just saying. Gotta go to bed. Gotta be more responsible. Okay, so I think I'm gonna run with some of those front-facing gables and these spaces, and definitely one over here as well. So we got that going for us. And then we have to figure out what to do with these spaces, because I do not want water running toward the build, obviously. But I'm also not sure about just extending this roof line either. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. Like on the edges of the lot. Yep, I'm still not sure where you're seeing that, but that's okay. Alright, how do I want to do this? I've been doing this on so many builds, but it's such a useful thing. I could do this and hold Alt to keep the height the same. So I want the height to stay below this roof enough where it's obviously not connected. Then I can pull this in. So we could do that. So it's a very suburban shape. I do this so frequently, but I don't know, it's fun. I think it looks nice. And it gives us the option to add on a cover over the back deck here. Alright, so again I'm going to hold Alt to adjust the pitch more carefully so that I can get that to line up as best as possible. As best as possible, I don't know. I think that little bit of cover over the deck is nice though. I don't remember if you had it initially, so that's my bad. Then we should be able to do the same-ish thing over on this side. So that keeps all of the water from running into into the wall, which we generally don't want to do. Alright, for this one, I want to bring this in and then hold shift to just pull this one eave back, and then I'm going to copy, place it again, pull in the side eaves, and then pull this into the rest of the roof, which I will pitch up a little bit so that it matches up a little bit better. Let's see. I want these two to look like they're the same height, which I think means I just have to bring this one up just a little bit. I think I'm going to bring down the pitch of the roofs as well. I think it's just showing a little bit too much above the windows and everything. So if I bring it all down the same amount, I don't have to replace any of the roof. I could just count like how many clicks it goes down. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so you just learned the alt roof trick. Okay, alt does so many amazing things. Like when in doubt, shift, control, or alt are probably the keys that you want to grab. All right, I'm gonna grab like one of this. Oh no, that one, this one. So we're gonna throw some trim on, and then we'll do. I think this is all gables actually, so that's super duper exciting. So we have the two gables stacked here because eaves, plus the one there. These two gables, and then these two gables. Oh no, I lied. And one half gable, which is optional, covering the back deck. I think it's nice though. And if we paint everything, there's a more suburban shape. So you mean with the fencing? I don't see it. Oh well. Oh, the chimney. I was like, I feel like there was something else I was supposed to be looking at. I remembered I gotta put the chimney back. This chimney does look a little bit large now, so we could either move it more like toward, oh, that was the wrong button, holy cow. More toward the middle of the build, so that the size is just going to look a little bit more proportionate, or we can leave it where it was and just shrink it with the bracket keys. So that'll look a little bit better as well. Gable, 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 gable. Yes, like coming to a t-shirt, maybe. Sabrina, cute, thank you. Well, kind of. It's not really my build, but I'll pass it on. You're talking about your game. Oh, you're talking about your game with the fence being off. Okay, because I keep looking at this. I'm like, the fence is perfect. Like, it's great. I give up. All right, that's fine. This is an adorable house, though. Okie dokie. So let's take a look at this landscaping really quick. So you have, I basically break landscaping down into bushes, flowers, fillers, and rocks. Obviously, you have rocks, so that's good. Congrats on having the rocks. However, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bush category plants, which is like a large green thing that doesn't have flowers on it. So that's just too much green. So you could either simplify by having the same amount of green but fewer bush types, or you could switch out some of your sort of shrubs for some more flowers, which I think is what I'm going to go with because I actually like the layout fine. I think we just have, oops, too many green objects and not enough like color coming into the build. So you have some white flowers here. So I'm just going to grab a different, also white flower to fill in some of the other areas, and then we'll see how we feel about it. So which one is this? This is the red rose bush. And this one is the red shrub. Interesting, you picked two red things that are white. That's funny. So I will grab the dull daisies. Ooh yeah, I think I'll do these because it's a slightly different green as well. And we could bring in more rocks, or like we did in, I don't remember which build it was. One of the more modern ones, I think. We brought in some garden sculptures, which just sort of help break it up a little bit, because this is overall fairly simple, like color palette wise, so I can understand why you wouldn't want to bring in too many different colors of flowers and plants, but bringing out something like this could still be a good move. Texture and dimension wise. And then I'll grab the terrain paint and just do a soft little spritz around the edges. Looks like you are using the, is it the pine duff, I think? Yes, okay, cool. So I'm just gonna do that under some of your plants here to keep that consistent, where I changed it. And there's a look at that. Now, if you're feeling like it's still really empty here, it looks like you used some terrain paint actually like on the lawn. I don't think this is the actual like grass color. Yeah, I can see it erasing. Okay, I'll put it back. But you could probably go in with some of the flowers with a really soft brush to try and add a little bit of dimension to that really open lawn space. Maybe not the big ones. I don't think that's quite right. So that might help with that a little bit, so then it doesn't feel quite as flat. I would also put your same terrain paint, whatever it is you're using, under your trees. Whoops, that was a little bit aggressive. And also under your foundation. Basically under anything that touches the grass is sort of my rule. It breaks up the green. And you can put it on the edges of your paths as well. How much or how little you use, I just think overall it's kind of like when you put an outline on a sticker or something, it just helps it stand out. You can also use it to do little like walked paths, like your Sims are going to be walking here to check their mail and stuff all the time, so maybe add a little bit more dirt there. I think that's about what I've got for this one, so I'm going to throw it back on the gallery. And if anybody has any last quick questions, I'll try to answer them. Otherwise, I'll do closing announcements. Great, awesome. I'm glad that you liked it. Even if you don't keep everything, like, keep what you like, leave what you don't. I'm not going to be offended, but hopefully it gives you some ideas and it'll help you just get the build to where you want it, you know? That's the plan. Oh my goodness. Okay, so YouTube, you guys are amazing. Our average view duration for this stream is over 20 minutes. That is a huge deal. That is massive. I don't know if there are any other YouTube nerds out there or what, but like, this is a big deal. So thank you so much for that. If you haven't already and you want to give the little thumbs up button a click, that would be fantastic. But oh my goodness, thank you so much, guys. Have I figured out a way to effectively use rounded walls? Define effectively. I keep swearing I'm not going to use them anymore, and then I use them anyway. So that's about as effective as I've gotten. There are definitely some things you have to keep in mind, like you can't place, I've already uploaded this lot, so I'm going to mess it up now. You can't place like a flat square or something like this and then also place a rounded room on top of it. It's going to make... Well, now why is it working when I'm just trying to complain about it? That's really rude. I was trying to say it's going to make it look weird, but then it didn't in fact make it... I'm so confused. Usually this doesn't work for me. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, it's going to make it look weird. Also, if you like raise the platform inside, it's still gonna clip this up, but that seems to happen with the terrain anyway. I don't know. It's a hot mess. Yeah, the most effective way I've figured out how to use them is I don't use them and then I use them anyway. Another thing that can help is trying to remember that it's not actually on the grid. And if I sort of try to highlight just that, actually it's easier if I just put a different floor there. Right, it's not actually on a grid, it's this shape. So this shape is actually what you're placing when you're placing the round wall. It just so happens to be in a room. So that's a good thing to try and keep in mind. It's not like actually on a grid. Lauren, how do I look up and down, not in and out? That is a good question. Let me see if I can answer it. So first of all, I do use the Sims 3 camera. And then obviously scroll wheel, like I can zoom in and out, but if I press the scroll wheel, then I can change my angle like this. So I'm just like moving my mouse at a circle and I'm doing all of that stuff. So I believe that is exclusive with the Sims 3 camera setting. You should be able to still use it on a Mac, but it's this button right here. I don't think the Mac has like a weird... I don't know. Some of the stuff on the Mac is different, but if you have a mouse that has a scroll wheel, you should be able to press the scroll wheel and adjust the tilt like this. I don't know if you can change the key, like the mouse mapping or not, though, unfortunately. Monica, you've been the whole time? Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you. Genuinely, from the bottom of my little builder heart. Thank you so much. Finish furnishing and landscaping your Sim sister's house? Well, I'm glad that we were a source of motivation today. Even though we were kind of on the outside and you're on the inside. Is it because you have a trackpad? I have gotten it to work on a trackpad before. Kind of like how you use multiple fingers to scroll. Try using that. It's a lot more finicky than just having an actual mouse. I highly recommend if you're building, especially if you want to create content and move effectively, to just get a mouse with a scroll wheel and everything. But you should be able to. You all play with cheats so you can build your dream houses, right? I don't know. Have I built my dream house? I don't think I have. I just build stuff. I actually really like building starters, honestly. I'm excited about Goat Ranch. Heck yeah. Mark your calendars. It's already on my calendar. We are doing 2 back-to-back super long, well, hopefully not 2 super long, but like in-depth streams when the Goat Ranch pack comes out. Get a mouse so you don't like carpal tunnel. Yeah, that also helps. So I'm going to be doing stream the day the pack comes out. I want to do an every single swatch of every single item stream where we're just going to go through literally everything because I just want to see everything. So that's my plan for the 20th. So be here. It'll be a great time. Should be streaming on YouTube and TikTok as usual. I won't be answering as many questions that stream because I will be pretty focused on just exploring the pack. And then the 21st, the day after, I want to dive into the actual gameplay and figure out the basics there. The new nectar making skill, figure out how to actually buy goats and stuff like that. Madison, thank you so much for the follow. That brings up to 20 followers for the stream. Thank you. That's awesome. So I will be streaming that for sure. Again, don't know if I'll do too much gameplay beyond just like figuring out how it works. We'll probably get into building pretty quickly. But I am very excited about the goats. 10 out of 10 goats. Lauren and Paige, thank you guys for the follows as well. So, I will be back streaming again, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It's currently midnight Eastern, so again, you can do the math if you want to. I'll be back streaming again on Thursday. We are going to be building a children's museum, but as always, I love having you guys do a little poll before we do our second stream of the week, so polls will be up for picking the style of the children's museum, so I'm very excited about that. I've wanted to build one for the Growing Together pack since it came out, so super excited to build that with you guys on Thursday. I don't think I'll be doing a third stream this week because we have a lot of other stuff going on, but that'll be on Thursday. If you haven't already, make sure you're following here on TikTok. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. We do also have YouTube memberships. They are 99 cents a month. If it says something different, your phone is lying to you, use your desktop instead. Save yourself that dollar or whatever the upcharge is. It is just exclusively emotes right now. I'd like to add more in the future, but if you're just like, oh my gosh, I love this content so much, I would like to give Sam $1 a month, you can do that there. Also, if you've not already, I invite you to join our Discord server. The link is currently in the YouTube chat, and you can also find it on TikTok through the link in my bio. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on over there, which is just delightful. Plus, it's just so fun to get to know you guys. Are there any other platforms? Oh, merch is live, shipping exclusively to the US, but there are digital downloads available for the whole world. Again, all of that stuff is linked in my bio. I think that's everything. Is that all the things? If it's not all the things, if you go to samandbean.com, using the link in my bio if you so choose, all the links to everything are there. So, one convenient little place. I forgot to write my announcements down, so I'm hoping that's all of them. Paige, you love children's museums. I feel like that was a perfect world to have, a children's museum, like a place for young families to go and do all the kids' skills and everything. I actually just bought the kids room stuff and the toddler stuff packs specifically so that I can just build like the best children's museum ever. So I am super excited to do that. Yep, nothing else is coming to mind. So I think that's it. We'll be back with another Sam Help live stream Monday again. If that changes, I do keep my stream schedule updated on my TikTok profile, so you can check that out there. But I should be back next week with more building. Thank you so much for building with me today, and I look forward to building with you guys again on Thursday. Have a great night or morning or whatever, and thank you again so much. Goodbye.